There's a moment in every heated encounter, a crucial instant when emotions boil over, voices rise, and chaos takes the lead. In that storm of noise and tension, everyone expects a reaction. They want to see fear, anger, or frustration flare up like a match in dry grass. But instead of feeding the fire, you become an island of stillness. You don't speak. You don't shout. You don't flinch. You embody calm. This silence isn't surrender. It's a quiet fortress, a gathering of strength beneath the surface. Your stillness unsettles them because it breaks their script. They don't know how to interpret the absence of reaction. Are you confident? Indifferent? Planning your next move? The mystery gnaws at their certainty, and uncertainty is the enemy of control. In a world overwhelmed by noise and frantic impulses, your calm is an enigma, an uncrackable code. It haunts them, disrupts their focus, and erodes their authority. The more they try to read you, the less they understand. Because calmness is more than peace of mind. It's a strategic weapon. It's not the lack of feeling, but the mastery of it. To remain serene amid the storm is to seize power that outshines any outburst or display of rage. When others explode, you hold steady. When they panic, you stand firm. This control forces them to doubt themselves, question their tactics, and reconsider their stance. When doubt creeps in, you already have the upper hand. Your calmness becomes their cage. The longer you hold it, the deeper they're unraveling. And with their grip loosening, the balance of power shifts. Most people mistake calmness for passivity, a retreat, or a kind of surrender. But real calmness is an active choice. It is precision in motionlessness, a deliberate pause that wields influence. This is a quiet force, not a quiet mind. The calm individual commands more than silence. They command attention, respect, and ultimately control. Picture a room crackling with tension, voices clashing like thunder, desperate to be heard. And there, in the eye of the storm, stands the one who says nothing. Not a whisper escapes their lips, yet the entire room bends to their presence. This is the paradox of calm. Silence becomes louder than shouting. Stillness, heavier than force. The loudest are often the most fragile, their noise a shield against their own insecurity. But you stand unshaken. You are a rock in a river of chaos. And it terrifies them. They don't know what you think, what you feel, or what you might do next. Your unpredictability fractures their certainty. Think back to your own experiences, the arguments or stressful moments. Who really controlled the room? It wasn't the one who raised their voice or lost their temper. It was the person who stayed composed, whose calmness commanded the space and directed the flow without a single shout. Calmness twists perception. It throws a veil over your thoughts, making it impossible for others to gauge your emotions. Are you amused? Indifferent? Calculating your next move? They cannot tell, and that uncertainty breeds fear, the most effective weapon in any contest of wills. People will go to great lengths to avoid feeling vulnerable or off balance. Your composed silence forces them to confront exactly that, their vulnerability. Calmness is fear's shadow. It unsettles, confuses, and weakens without ever needing to raise its voice. But this calm isn't accidental. It's a calculated tactic, a deliberate game plan. While others react impulsively to provocation, you observe, analyze, and wait. Your stillness is not emptiness. It's a mental stronghold. In a chaotic world, the unshakable calm is the strongest shield and the sharpest sword. By holding your ground, you invite others to reveal their weaknesses. They try to break through your silence, but find only a fortress. You become the player others can't predict. Look to those who dominate life's arenas, the leaders, the warriors, the masters of strategy. Do they shout the loudest? Do they lose their temper? Rarely. They are the quiet ones, patient, composed, and unpredictable. Their power lies not in noise, but in knowing when to strike and when to wait. This is the terrifying truth. Calmness unsettles the crowd, but it empowers the individual. Your silence unsettles them because you hold a secret they can't grasp, a depth of control that only reveals itself in moments of action. In any struggle, the ultimate advantage is unpredictability. Most people follow familiar emotional patterns. They react, respond, and retaliate. But by refusing to play their game, you rewrite the rules. You become a riddle no one can solve. Your calmness conceals your intentions and clouds their judgment. They try harder to read you, but the harder they try, the more they lose their footing. Anxiety seeps in, hesitation follows, and cracks begin to form. Imagine a chessboard where the best players aren't those who attack relentlessly, but those who wait, who watch, who decipher their opponent's smallest tells before delivering a decisive move. Life demands the same patience. When others lose their heads in chaos, the calm player stays cool, biding their time for the perfect moment. Because every time someone reacts to your emotionless stance, they hand you the reins. Their reaction is your leverage. Calmness and unpredictability combine to create a realm where you call the shots, even when others don't realize they're in your game. But calmness isn't about silence alone. It's about mastery, knowing when to speak, when to act, and when to hold your ground. This mastery extends far beyond arguments or confrontations. It shapes how you negotiate deals, build relationships, and command respect in every sphere of life. Picture a negotiation where your counterpart expects an immediate reaction or a predictable counter, but you hold your cards close, unmoved. And when you act, it's with precision, catching them off guard and forcing them to adapt to your rhythm. Look at those who truly shape their destinies. They are not impulsive. They are measured, composed, and terrifying in their calm resolve. Their stillness is a puzzle no one can solve. And in that puzzle lies their power. You don't need to shout to dominate. Your calm will do the work for you. Now, let's delve into the deeper psychological battlefield you enter when you wield calmness intentionally. Emotions are powerful. They shape decisions, alliances, and influence. But emotions are double-edged. They can empower you, or they can be your undoing. When others are consumed by anger, fear, or frustration, their minds close off to logic and clarity, but your calm mind stays open, sharp, and clear. You are the observer amid the storm, seeing patterns others miss, anticipating moves before they happen. This psychological advantage is where calmness becomes disruptive. While your opponents are trapped in their own emotional whirlpools, you are free to think, plan, and strike with precision. Their focus turns inward, their judgment blurs, and their confidence falters. Why don't you respond? What are you hiding? Their confusion is your battlefield. Your silence becomes a mirror, reflecting back their doubts and insecurities. And as they question you, they lose themselves. The more you maintain your composure, the more they spiral into uncertainty. And uncertainty is fertile ground for mistakes and weakness. Remember, this is not passive silence. It's active control. You don't react because you choose not to. You don't give away your power by showing your hand too soon. Your calmness is a calculated move, a subtle but overwhelming force that controls the mental space where the real battle is fought. In moments of conflict, the loudest voice is often the weakest. True power lies in silence and stillness, in the ability to stand firm when the world shakes around you. This is why some people command respect without raising their voices. They don't seek attention, attention finds them. Calmness radiates an invisible energy, an aura of quiet authority that others sense even if they can't name it. People are drawn to calmness because it offers refuge from the chaos of their own minds. Imagine a crowded room where everyone clamors for attention, caught in emotional storms. And then there is you, steady, unshaken, a beacon of calm. Without effort, you own the space. This magnetic calmness isn't something you can fake. It's a mindset cultivated through discipline, self-awareness, and choice. It is a quiet confidence that grows from within and touches everything you do. Others may not understand it, but they will feel it, and they will respect it. The world runs on chaos and reaction, but you have stepped outside the cycle. You see clearly, you act deliberately. You remain unflappable. This clarity unsettles others, breaking their rhythm and forcing them to adjust to you. They become quieter around you, more tentative, more aware. They seek your counsel and defer to your judgment without realizing why. But calmness is more than stillness. It's a rhythm. It's a dance between action and restraint. Knowing when to move and when to wait is what separates the masters from the rest. Think of the calm leader never rushed, never overwhelmed, whose decisions shape outcomes with surgical precision. Their power isn't in volume, but in timing and clarity. When the storm rages, their calm is the eye that holds everything together. When you become that person, you are untouchable. No one can provoke you. No one can manipulate your emotions. You are sovereign within your own mind. Being untouchable is not coldness or detachment. It's a fortress of self-mastery, a domain where external chaos cannot reach you. Others' outbursts bounce off your composure like rain on stone. You disarm them simply by not reacting. This calmness becomes second nature. It is your default mode. It shapes how others see you, how they interact with you, and how they follow you. You become a leader not because you demand it, but because your presence commands it. Those who master this art gain something priceless: freedom. Freedom from reaction. Freedom from fear. Freedom to shape your life on your own terms. Let this truth sink in. The power of calmness isn't about silencing the world. It's about creating an unbreakable peace within yourself. A peace so profound that no external force can shake it. So as we close this reflection, remember, calmness is your key to influence, control, and untouchability. It is the strength that stands firm while chaos swirls around you. It is the art of winning without shouting, and in mastering it, you become unstoppable. If you're ready to cultivate this power, begin today. Practice stillness. Choose silence over reaction. Observe more than you respond, and watch as the world begins to follow your lead. The journey toward mastering calmness begins with a fundamental shift in how you view emotions. Emotions are often treated as uncontrollable forces, like wild animals that either trap or consume us. But what if we saw emotions differently, not as tyrants, but as messengers? Each feeling carries information, clues about our environment and ourselves, but it doesn't have to dictate our actions. To embrace calmness is to become fluent in the language of emotions, to listen without immediate reaction, to translate feelings into wisdom rather than chaos. This shift requires practice and patience. When a rush of anger or frustration threatens to overwhelm you, don't rush to silence it or pretend it doesn't exist. Instead, meet it with awareness. Observe the sensation, the heat rising, the quickened heartbeat, the tightness in your chest. Name it. Feel it fully, without judgment or resistance. In doing so, you weaken its grip. You stop being swept away by waves and instead become the calm shore that receives them. In this way, calmness is a skill, a muscle to be strengthened. It's the art of pausing that brief but powerful moment between stimulus and response where choice emerges. And in that choice lies your power. Most people never realize this moment exists. They react reflexively, driven by habit and impulse. But when you slow down, even for a second, you reclaim control. You step out of the battlefield of emotions and into the observatory of reason and strategy. Imagine life as a vast ocean, unpredictable and often stormy. You can't control the waves, but you can control how your ship navigates them. Calmness is your vessel, steady and resilient. Without it, even small ripples become terrifying storms. With it, even the fiercest tempests are manageable, even opportunities for mastery. This is why so many ancient philosophies champion calmness and stillness. Stoicism, for instance, teaches that the only thing truly within our control is our response. External events, the chaos of the world, are indifferent. What matters is the state of our own minds. Buddhism echoes this, encouraging mindfulness and equanimity, the ability to witness life's fluctuations without becoming entangled in them. The sages understood a profound truth: calmness is freedom. But the path isn't always easy. Our culture often celebrates impulsivity, loudness, and immediate gratification. We live in an age of constant distraction where reaction is rewarded and patience feels like weakness. To cultivate calmness in such an environment requires courage and commitment. It demands turning inward when the world pulls outward, choosing depth over surface, resilience over rashness. One practical way to build this calm is through intentional breathing. Breath is the bridge between body and mind, a gateway to presence. When emotions surge, shifting attention to the breath grounds you. Slow, deep breaths activate the parasympathetic nervous system, calming the body and clearing the mind. This simple practice can transform moments of tension into moments of clarity. But calmness isn't just about handling stress, it's about embodying a state of presence. When you are truly calm, you are fully here, not lost in worries about the past or future. This presence is magnetic. It draws others toward you, creating a space where honesty, clarity, and connection can thrive. People sense when someone is present, it feels safe and powerful. Think about leaders you admire not just for their achievements, but for their demeanor. What sets them apart? Often, it's a groundedness that reassures and inspires. Their calm presence signals confidence without arrogance, strength without aggression. It tells the world, here is someone who understands themselves and the situation, who will not be easily shaken or manipulated. This leads to another profound insight: calmness fosters clarity. When you are calm, your thinking is sharper. Decisions come not from panic, but from perspective. You see options others miss because your mind is not clouded by emotional noise. This clarity is invaluable, especially in complex or high-stakes situations where rash choices can be costly. Moreover, calmness enhances creativity. When the mind is peaceful, it opens to new ideas and solutions. It moves fluidly between focus and imagination, embracing uncertainty rather than fearing it. Many great thinkers and artists have spoken about the importance of stillness and quiet for inspiration to emerge. Calmness, then, is not just a defensive posture, but a creative one. At the same time, calmness builds resilience. Life is full of setbacks and challenges. Without a steady center, these can overwhelm and derail us. But a calm spirit absorbs shocks, like a tree bending in the wind, flexible but unbroken. This resilience allows for recovery and growth, turning difficulties into lessons rather than wounds. It's important to remember that calmness does not mean passivity or denial. It's not about suppressing emotions or avoiding conflict. True calmness engages with reality fully and honestly. It acknowledges pain, fear, and anger without being controlled by them. It chooses action from a place of strength rather than reaction from weakness. This distinction is crucial because many confuse calmness with coldness or detachment. But calmness is deeply connected to compassion and courage. It requires bravery to face life's storms without losing composure. It also allows for empathy, as a calm mind can listen and respond with kindness rather than defensiveness. Consider a heated disagreement. The loudest voice doesn't always win. Often, the calmest does. Not because they dominate by volume, but because their calmness invites dialogue instead of conflict. It opens space for understanding and resolution. This is the power of calmness in relationships. It builds trust and breaks down barriers. Furthermore, calmness influences not just others, but yourself. When you develop this quality, you become your own anchor. In moments of doubt or fear, you can turn inward to find stability. This self-reliance reduces anxiety about external events and builds confidence in your ability to navigate whatever comes. This internal stability also affects your energy. Calmness conserves it rather than wasting it on unnecessary emotional reactions. You become more efficient, focused, and effective in your actions. This energy management is key to sustained success and well-being.